Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar today. Our webinar's title is Moving in Schools, Comprehensive Physical Activity Programs, and we are happy to be partnering with Let's Move Active Schools here at Action for Healthy Kids to present this webinar to you. My name is Hannah Laughlin, and I am the Regional Field Manager of the Midwest and the Northwest at Action for Healthy Kids, and I'm so happy to be joined by Pam Powers, who is the National Recruitment Manager for Let's Move Active Schools, part of Shape America, formerly AFERD. So let's start today with just a couple of logistics. Everyone is dialed into our technology, which is called GoToWebinar, using either your telephone or your computer speakers. We do have everyone on the line muted, so we don't have a lot of background noise or issues related to that. So if you do have a question, please enter it in the question box here. In the top right of your control panel, you will see that you have an option to expand it down for questions, and you can enter a question into that box for staff, and we will be taking questions throughout the webinar to answer any questions that you might have. This call is being recorded today, and we will send out the recording and the links to the handouts and the slides following the call. So do look out for that. For members of your staff who weren't able to join and you want to share this information with, you can do it that way as well. So who is Action for Healthy Kids, for those of you who are not familiar with us? We're a national organization that fights childhood obesity, undernourishment, and physical inactivity by helping schools become healthier places so kids can lead healthier lives. And our goal is really to create school communities where children learn how to make healthy choices from the minute they walk in the front door of the building to the minute they leave at the end of a school day. And you're going to find out more about why this is important when I turn it over to Pam, who's going to share the research to you on why healthy kids make better learners and why school environments are an important place to make sure that kids are healthy so they are learning. We know that there are 5 components of a comprehensive school physical activity plan, and these are great reasons for you as a school to team up with Let's Move Active Schools. And the 5 components of a comprehensive school physical activity plan are high-quality physical education, physical activity during school, physical activity before and after school, staff involvement, and family and community involvement. So today, we're going to learn all about comprehensive school physical activity programs by talking about the problems, the solutions, why active kids do better, a blueprint for an active school, how you can support schools and districts, the process for getting involved in Let's Move Active Schools, and what they're all about. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Pam Powers, who will tell you more about Let's Move Active Schools. Pam, are you muted?
Thank you, Hannah, for joining with me today on this and inviting us for this webinar. And we are really happy to have this opportunity to join with someone like Action for Healthy Kids. And I'll tell you a little bit about Let's Move Active Schools and what we're about. And I'm going to get into a little more detail, as Hannah had mentioned in the previous information, about why it's so important that we want to get kids moving and active. Okay, Hannah, go ahead. So we have about 100,000 public schools in the U.S., which equals about 50 million students across the United States. And this information comes from the National Center for Education Statistics. Go ahead, Anna. What we know is that kids do love to play, and all kids are designed to move. But the problem is that kids are moving less and less, and the research shows that we have about 66% of kids that aren't moving enough. By the age of 15, 75% of those kids are less active than they were at age 9. And what we're finding is that by age 15, American kids are 75% less physically active than they were before. So what this leads to is that 12.5 million children and adolescents by the age between 2 through 19 are obese. And these statistics and findings are coming from the Center for Disease Control. So what we know about all this is that because of that and because of what we know about kids wanting to move and that they've got this going on, they spend the most of their time with us and a majority of time in school. And so where a change agent can really help to happen is within the school. And so if we really want kids to be more active, and if we want them to be moving, we need to do things that will make them active within the school and also want to be active and to engage in physical activity as well. So where is this idea of 60 minutes coming from? There are 3 different places we're looking at. We're looking at it before school, we're looking at it during the school, and we're looking at it after school as well. But the overall idea, it incorporates physical activity for 60 minutes. So what's the magic about 60 minutes? And what we know is that according to the physical activity guidelines for Americans, youth need at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity each day to really get the full benefit. And what we also know, go ahead Hannah, is that what this leads to is academically it's going to lead them to higher test scores, improved attendance, as well as increased focus. In addition to that, it also leads to better behavior, lower risk of childhood obesity, and other things such as lifestyle and healthier habits. And from this we know that because of all that together, an active child is going to perform and do better. So this is where the idea of an active school is going to really come in. And it's the solution bringing physical activity back into the America's schools. So when we talk about integrating physical activity into the school, it's going to help kids learn, focus, grow. So that's exactly what the idea is here with Let's Move Active Schools. We're looking to really switch this idea of moving a school from being less active to a consistent active school all the way throughout the day. And so ultimately, Let's Move Active Schools, which was part of the First Lady's Let's Move initiative, helps schools to develop a culture in which physical activity and physical education are foundational to the academic success. And Let's Move Active Schools makes it simple for teachers, strategic for administrators, and practical for parents by helping to streamline and help them to put together resources, professional development, as well as grants. And then in addition to that, we'll help them to deliver a customized professional development along with an action plan that will help them to guide to a successful view of what their school really needs. So this model that has been developed for Let's Move Active Schools is powered with a national collaboration of a number of leading health and educational organizations. So as you look at this cadre of work that's been put together, you can look on the screen of a number of different partners that have come together for this initiative. We're offering schools and districts the latest and greatest in physical activity and physical education research, best practices and strategies that are being offered by all of these leaders in educational research. And it also is something that hasn't been seen before, and what's really exciting about this is to see all of these different people come together and partner on this initiative, offering their diverse expertise, the latest in industry research, and offering up exclusive resources also. So let's talk a little bit about what an active school will look like. Now, Hannah mentioned earlier about comprehensive school physical activity. So let's go back to schools. Equip the school leader or teachers with a roadmap that ensures a coordinated, holistic effort. And the roadmap helps them to identify the programs and initiatives and resources that they need to create an active school based on the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's comprehensive school physical activity program that we see above. So we're going to take a moment and dive a little bit deeper into each of these areas that you see. So the comprehensive school physical activity integration is physical education, where we're looking to provide effective physical education that's fun and inclusive, physical activity during school, where we create an active classroom that includes physical activity and also bursts of activity within lessons. Physical activity that happens before and after school. So we're offering students opportunities to begin and end their day with physical activity. Staff involvement, where we emphasize physical activity as a priority for the whole staff. And in addition, family and community engagement, where we connect with the community, making your whole school the center for physical activity. So let's talk a little bit deeper about each of these areas and then get some more ideas about what this might look like within your school. So the first one that I'd like to share with you and discuss is physical education. So physical education is really the subject and the academic subject matter that serves as the foundation of the comprehensive school physical activity program. It provides a unique opportunity for students to gain the knowledge and the skills needed to establish and maintain a physically active lifestyle throughout childhood, adolescence, and then into their adulthood. So with a quality physical education program, it should meet the needs of all students. It should be enjoyable, a great experience, and it should keep students active for most of the physical education time. Moderate to vigorous physical activity teaches them self-management, teaches them skills that will help them maximize their movement proficiency, and emphasizes knowledge and skills for a lifetime of physical activity. Also, physical education can increase student participation in physical activity. It increases their physical fitness, enhances their knowledge and skills about why and how their body moves, and as defined by Shape America, a quality physical education program includes the opportunity to learn meaningful content, appropriate instruction, and student and program assessment. All right, so going on from there, we have, now we're going to take a look here at physical activity during school. And so within during school, we have a number of opportunities that we need to make sure that we touch on and we have as part of our school day that's happening that's really important. And during this time, things that we really want to make sure that schools have and that they offer are things that kids can benefit from and participate in, are things such as recess, or things where kids are integrated activity into their school lessons, which could mean or look like physical activity breaks, or lessons that are structured where the kids are actually moving during an activity. There could be lunchtime clubs, intramural programs, or there might be something at the middle or high school level. You might see something where, similar to recess, right? There might be something scheduled, like an intramural, or something else that might be scheduled during the school day. Physical activity may be included during an advisory period for older kids, homeroom period. They may have exploratory and enrichment classes, elective sections, or as a transition between classes. You may even see something in the morning where it's a morning wake-up class of some sort to get them jump-started and ready for the day ahead. All right, so let's go on to our next one here. So now we're going to take a look at what our next one here looks like that we're talking about with physical activity before and after school. So in this opportunity, we really want to try and get kids who are possibly not able to have the opportunity to do something maybe outside of school. Perhaps maybe they have to be at school early in the morning, parents are working, or maybe after school the parents can't pick them up right away. And instead of sitting around and not really engaged in anything structured, we want to try and find some physical activity programming that would fit in and really help them to gain some sort of physical activity knowledge at this point. So they can be, this is a perfect opportunity to expand on the physical activity programming within the school and get those extra 60 minutes a day. So here are some different things that they could look like. So there are structured things that are offered. Walking and biking programs are a great idea and a great way to offer things up. These can come in the form of things like safe routes to school, fire up your feet, fuel up to place 60 offers a playbook offerings, 100-mile club, the box program. In older grades, you might even see something like intramural programs that are offered. Different types of physical activity clubs may be offered as well. And interscholastic sports are great offerings as well. So now let's go on to the next section about staff involvement. And where this is really significant is that for school and really to get kids engaged, it always helps to see not just necessarily the physical educator or one person at the school really involved in being active, but when kids start to see a culture within their environment that they're in so much, where everybody is active, it really plays a significant role for them. So if more of the staff or the teachers become more involved in doing activities, then the children follow. It's always fun to see a teacher involved with something that the kids are doing outside of their classroom as well. And so if teachers can become engaged and maybe lead an activity that they like to do outside of school, bring it to the school and offer that as a class, or offer to lead a walking program, or offer to participate in one of the other programs that maybe somebody else does and just be there as a side-by-side volunteer, even that is very meaningful. It shows a support for what their students are doing, and it brings a lot of meaning to it. And it also really shows that everybody is trying to get healthier and buy into this idea of being healthy, because just as the students should be active 60 minutes a day, so should the adults. So here are some different ideas as well. What would this look like at that school? There are all these different areas where people might be involved. So not just necessarily the teachers, it takes it anywhere from the top at the administration all the way through from any part of the staff involved with this. In fact, even having parents be involved is another part of this we'll get into as well. But to have the nurse involved as well is a great idea. And then, again, having them volunteer to teach something they already know and to be able to participate would be a great idea. So that brings us to family and community engagement. And whenever we can connect something from school and bring it to the home or bring it to the family, is going to make it even more meaningful for it. And so if we can also involve the parents, bring them in, maybe do some sort of an evening event or a weekend special event where the parents become more involved and engaged and see what the kids are actually doing that's active, and find out when the children are, how important it is to be active for the length of time they are. It can be even more valuable for the idea of the 60 minutes a day. And then in addition to that, reach out into your community, because so many times there's places just nearby the school who really would like to offer up some sort of service or benefit for free, at least to come into the school and to offer a course or a class for free, in hopes that maybe the kids will sign up or the parents will sign up at the studio or the class and continue to take courses there. So what does it look like outside? You're going to have the support from around and outside. So you want to look around your school. Box through Reebok has a side-by-side program where they look for the parent to be the volunteer next to the physical educator, and they train the parents on the program and how to run it and so forth. And it's a wonderful morning program. As I mentioned before, there are often places like local yoga studios, often karate studios, dance studios. They're all really great places to touch on. Local boys and girls clubs or local YMCAs that would really love to come in and offer something to the kids for free, and to be able to tell them about what they offer before and after school. So let's talk a little bit about how Let's Move Back to Schools can support schools and districts. And there are many different ways in how Let's Move Back to Schools is supporting schools and districts, both individually and then on a wider basis. There are many schools where they've signed up just individually on their own, or they have engaged with Let's Move Back to Schools just as an entire district, and everybody has signed up. And so let's talk a little bit about how this sort of setting can help them make progress with the comprehensive school physical activity and how this could fit in with that. So what happens is that when a school is involved in Let's Move Back to Schools, it really offers them this individualized solution. So if you look at that idea of where we looked at comprehensive school physical activity and all the different places within a school, if you think of the 5 components and you think about your own school, think about where any one of those areas might be missing in your own school. Well, when you go through the Let's Move Active Schools assessment, what will happen is that it really helps you to identify where you may need some part of that comprehensive school physical activity filled in. It will help you to identify that and then complete a customized action plan. And so that's where it really helps you out with this, this solution, where it's really individualized for your own needs. It will help you to find individual resources in addition to that. So the resource section is pretty great. There's a number of resources in there that will help guide you for what you need and what is, the tools are there. it actually picks out certain ones for you when you do your assessment based on what your needs are, but you can also go in there on your own and look through hundreds of resources that are available. So as I mentioned a second ago, it actually makes it much easier because it does navigate you through all the resources and programs that are out there, but it also gives you the opportunity to look through some as you want. And in the other part of it is that the whole idea really is to lift up and empower the physical educator within this, to really instruct from a comprehensive and a holistic perspective through this, really helping them to develop a quality, standards-based physical education program. Looking at it, that it includes assessment and demonstrates outcomes for the students. And that's why when you look at that symbol and the breakdown of the comprehensive school physical activity and you saw the physical education in the red, that really ultimately is where your comprehensive school physical activity has to start from, is that really has to have the quality physical education to begin with for all the rest to happen. And then also, it strengthens the credentials. It really helps the qualification. And then through this, we also offer free professional development for the teachers. Ultimately, in Let's Move Active Schools, we try to provide a platform for the physical educator to be provided and be recognized really as the leader and the change agent within their district and their community. Let's talk a little bit about the opportunities within here. So there are a number of funding opportunities that happen through the initiative. And there are both grants and there are also some professional development, as we started to speak about a moment ago. The funding opportunities in the form of grants comes from a number of our partners, and they have been really great about offering up with their grants. If a school signs up, they have offered to give a school a priority point on their grant. Now, you still have to write a good grant, but when you go through the process, they will give you a priority look on the grant, and these grants are through Fuel Up to Play 60, the President's Council on Sport, Fitness, and Nutrition, Box, Child Obesity 180, and Action for Healthy Kids. So these all have different open and closing deadlines, and so you just have to check in to find out when those start and stop. But those have been a terrific source for monies for schools to supplement. And all schools, as I mentioned, that enroll have this opportunity for that from supporting organizations, which is terrific. So, as I mentioned, we know that when children are active, right? We know that we're trying to raise this awareness that there is this link between when the body is active, the brain is active, right? And so we can raise academic performance. There's a wonderful slide out there that there was research on children's academic performance and how it's linked. The more fit a child is, the higher the academic performance. And it was broken down by different race, and across the board it's all the same. So the kids that are more fit are the ones who performed better on the test. So let's talk a little bit more about professional development. We have highly qualified trainers and experts that are ready to assist you in professional development and learning. So there's two different dynamic opportunities that you have through Let's Move Active Schools once you sign up. One of these is our customized professional development, and the other is called Physical Activity Leader Learning System. So the first one I'm going to talk about is your customized professional development. This one will help you stay up to date on the latest trends, instructional strategies, best practices in physical activity and physical education. And the Let's Move Active Schools advisors hold professional development and technical assistance trainings on topics that are important to your school or district. Now, these come right from your assessment, and they come out of your come from your action plan and from the assessment you've taken online. And so once that comes out, that's what tells our experts what it is your school or district is in need of. And so these are terrific trainings. They come right to you and to your school area. And as I mentioned, they are free. There is a second type of training, and these are called Physical Activity Leader Learning System. And the Physical Activity Leader Learning System is designed to develop and support individuals who will champion an effort in their local schools and school districts to ensure 60 minutes a day of physical activity for all aged youth. So this 12-month PAL learning system is a dynamic action-focused initiative which results in skilled individuals who will initiate a tailored plan of action in their respective school district or setting, beginning with a one-day in-person training. And this training is a 7-hour in-person training, takes participants through the PAL learning system, and it's provided to no cost. All that is needed are willing champions